Hey, what's up? Coach Ryan family from the Fat Loss Solution. You may wonder why my hands are up like this. Well, it's because I'm excited about something. This is the first time in about a year and a half I've been able to get this arm above waist height. I had a messed up shoulder, had surgery to fix it, and now it's feeling good. So hopefully I'll be back in the gym soon, giving you guys some training videos once I am able to go full go again. That's not the topic of today though. I just was really excited that I could put my hands up. Anyway, today I'm going to talk a little bit about fasted training. I try not to go on the internet forums too much, but sometimes I have to venture into the dungeons to see what's popular today, see what people are talking about, you know, what people are recommending and where the debates are in the industry. So a huge trend right now is fasted training and even fasting in general. And what I mean by fasting is periods of not eating. So for fasted training, there's now people that are recommending either training hard first thing in the morning upon awakening, or to be even more extreme, waking up, not eating, and then training at noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. later in the day, still in a fasted state. I'm going to talk a little bit today about the thought process behind fasted training, where some aspects of it are missing the boat, and then a practical recommendation for you if you want to include it. So the basic premise of fasted training is that your fat burning processes are going to be at peak in the morning. So first thing in the morning, your environment is primed to burn body fat. What do I mean by that? Well, hormonally, your insulin levels are going to be low. Okay, and insulin stops fat burning dead in its tracks. So you want insulin to be low. So insulin's low, cortisol is high. Cortisol is a stress hormone, but it's also essential for fat burning. So cortisol is high. Your muscle glycogen stores are somewhat low, which is a good thing for fat burning. And so basically people are saying, man, if your body's primed for this first thing in the morning, let's get after it and burn some body fat. Here's the thing, I think this approach when talking about hard training, such as weight training, sprinting, interval training, is a little bit missing the forest for the trees. So yes, the fat burning environment is optimal, but there's a couple things that people might not have thought about. First off, your muscle glycogen levels are going to be lower. So in a fasted state, you're not going to be able to turn in the same performances that you would be in a fed state. And okay, performance is crucial for stripping fat off your body. If you wanna lose body fat, get your 400-meter sprint time under 60 seconds. Well, if you're not fed, you're gonna have a hard time performing in the gym. So we want to do things that boost performance, not harm it. I always crack up when people are getting leaner and they're like, oh, I'm weak now because I'm working to get lean. It's like, no, you should be getting stronger, you should be getting more powerful, you should be getting faster. It shouldn't be a weakening process. So that's the first reason. But truthfully, arguably the number one reason that I am not a proponent of fasted training is because it just doesn't make sense. Weight training, interval sprints, things of that nature that are hard and intermittent are anaerobic activities. Anaerobic activities use carbs for fuel. They use glycogen for fuel. So you're not actually burning fat in that time anyway. Okay, the primary benefit to anaerobic training is to train very, very hard and create this metabolic afterburn effect, which the scientists call it post-exercise oxygen consumption. Excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or EPOC. You want a high EPOC. Well, the fat burning actually occurs in the hours after your interval workout, and the hours after your weight training workout, and even a couple days after, up to 72 hours. So you're not actually burning fat during exercise. What does happen with anaerobic training is you release fat from fat cells, it circulates the bloodstream, and then if you don't burn it directly, it'll just deposit itself somewhere else on your body. So you may have little fat cells coming from your butt cheek, circulating the body and ending up on your pec, or vice versa, or it could end up back on your butt cheek, who knows. So it's really kind of pointless to do hard training when you're fasted. So what is an acceptable type of fasted training? Well, first off, there's only one type of training that I recommend fasted, and I wouldn't even call it training. Basically, the only thing that I think is beneficial to do in a fasted state is to go for a leisurely walk. I'm not talking about a power walk where you're swiveling your hips and, you know, doing the silly something like that. Okay, it's nothing like that. I'm talking about an easy, leisurely walk. In fact, your heart rate should not get above 115 to 120 beats per minute, which is fairly low. Why so low? Why such an easy activity? Well, because you don't want to bring cortisol levels too high. Hard training first thing in the morning can have cortisol levels elevated throughout the day. You want it to be high in the morning, but you don't want it to be elevated the rest of the day. So we want to minimize those stress hormones. You also want to minimize muscle breakdown. You don't want to lose lean muscle while you're trying to get lean. You want to maintain and even build muscle while you're working to shed body fat. So really the only kind of training is steady state aerobic work at a very low intensity. And to be honest, I don't even consider it technically it's aerobic work, but really it's just a leisurely walk. It's not actually a workout. It's not going to interfere with recovery from training or sprinting. It's going to promote blood flow and circulation, and it's going to burn a little bit of body fat. So this is one of those things, it's not necessarily a training modality, but I recommend that people, 2-3 times a week, take a 30 to 45 minute leisurely stroll on an empty stomach, come home, have breakfast, and then hit the gym later in the day. It's just a healthy, fat-burning, easy thing that you can do. And again, it's the only type of training, in my opinion, that is truthfully best to do fasted. Everything else, it's not really effective, and it's a lot of times fasted hard training will cause more problems than it will solve for you. So I'm Coach Ryan from the Fat Loss Solution. I hope you learned something today, and I'll see you next time.